Hey guys, we just got done with the Boise regionals, and we got 4th place winner Kurt Achiu. What did you play today, man?
Played Drytron Runick.
Nice. Before we start, do you have any shout-outs?
Yeah. First and foremost, I want to shout out my fiance for letting me go to these kinds of things. Can't play with this, but so we keep it on the side.
Fair enough.
I want to shout out her dad. He made me this pen, and I use it all day. Check out Bates Creek Bows. But yeah.
Awesome. Let's start that deck list.
All right. So for Drytrons, it's 3 alpha. Self-explanatory, search any ritual monster. 3 zeta, search the ritual spell. 3 delta, and 3 gamma. I have trouble seeing names, so I just thought I should play as many names as possible, so maxed out on all the names, even though a lot of people play 2 delta and 2 gamma, but I just thought I needed to play them all. And then we played for the Cyber Angels 3 Benten, 1 Natasha. I didn't see this one as much as I'd hoped during the day, but you know, what can you do? It was so good though. This is always how you win games. And I lost most of my die rolls, but this is how I won most games. For the win condition, a more factor, I'm doing that and Vanity's Ruler. This card's really good going first because obviously you stop them from special summoning, but it's also good going second because you break their board and then you tribute summon this, and it's often very hard for people to come back after you've broken their board and have Vanity's Ruler. And then this is the I don't want to die, so I'm not going to die because you don't get a main phase 1. I played both Drytron Ritual Monsters. This never came up, but in theory, it's just something good against Lab where I can just blow up their back row or just insert other back row decks. And also Rescue Ace because it can't be targeted by spells and traps, and that comes up a lot in Rescue Ace. So that's why I really like this card. Never came up today, but it was there. This guy won me my cash matchup. In the last round I played against Kashtira, and he didn't search for Scareclaw Cash, but so that would have killed me. But because of that, all the cash thick cards couldn't target this, so that's why. So he just got to run over stuff. And then Diviner, it's just really good. It also has a lot of synergy with the Runick engine, which we'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, it's just a really good card. Okay, and then for the spells, here we go with the Runick cards. So we got 3 Tip, 3 Flashing Fire, 3 Destruction, 3 Freezing Curse, 3 Slumber. It's 15 names. I wish I could play more, but that's as many as I could fit into this 45 card deck. 2 Fountain. It's Fountain. And those are all the Runick cards. For the other spells, 2 Medionis Drytron. I don't think you can play this deck without playing 2. You just need to see it. I mean, you don't really want to open 2 of it, but you need to have it. So, and then there's just random times when Runicks or other things banish your cards, and you just want to make sure that you keep this on hand. Foolish Burial, just a really great one of sends anything you want. Okay, now this might be a little weird. I played 1 Cyber Emergency and 1 Drytron Nova. They're both hard ones per turn, and I'm really good at drawing multiples of them, so I decided to just cut them out to 1 so that if I ever see it, it's never dead. Because it's always going to be live if I have only 1, which I know it's a little counterintuitive to the whole I want to see names thing, but I'm just really sick and tired of drawing multiples of these, so we're only playing 1 of each. Called By, Sacked by the Grave, you know what I'm saying? And then Preparation of Rites. This card was bonkers all day. I would 9 times out of 10 get Benten, but on occasion we would get Natasha and the Ritual spell back, which was great. And that's the main deck, 45 cards. For the extra deck, so there were Runick cards, so we've got 2 Hugin and 1 Gary. So this is the normal ratio that people play, but the nice thing with Hugin is it's a level 2, and if your diviner gets impermed or veilered or something, you can synchro for Arclight, because that's a level 2 tuner, and then this, and then you can link it off for whatever, and then search Benten or whatever you need, and kind of go from there. Gary's always really good, but like I used it to crash into, just try to pick apart the cache board, so that was actually really nice. Herald of the Arclight. I'm only playing one diviner target because I only have one diviner, or I'm only playing one, so I thought having the Entis, even for going second, I'd rather just have more engine, more gas, so, and I thought Entis it wasn't necessary. For the Drytrons, we got 2 Mu Beta, so, I mean, that's pretty normal, just playing 2 Mu Beta, you can't play, I don't think you can ever play one. So I am playing Runick, so there's basically no world where I have a battle phase, so we're playing Typhon. Honestly, I never summoned it today, so I don't know if it's good, but in theory, you can out some stuff, some cool stuff with it. Beatrice is just there for those times when you have one name, so you gotta like summon Diviner, ritual summon Benten, and make the Exceed that way, but I've summoned her once or twice. I think it was very necessary, but yeah, it's just normal stuff. Relinquished Anima instead of Karibo. So normally I play Karibo, and this is not because I assume players are going to be bad and play into it. I mean, if they are, cool. But generally speaking, you need to play through boards, and boards are big nowadays, so sometimes people just can't help but put things in the Anima Zone because there's so many monsters. And like all of the cards in my extra are cards that can, as I am comboing, they can also help me to bait out interaction. So that's kind of the idea with that. Phoenix, it's just got to get rid of those floodgates and all that. So this is good. Also, I usually co-link it with Apo to draw a card, which is always nice. Cross Sheep was like by far the MVP, along with SP, but Cross Sheep, I make it really easily with typically Hugin and then some other dude, and you ritual summon under it, you draw 2, you discard 2, typically 2 Drytrons, or even runic spells. Like, it doesn't matter what you discard, it's just, you just draw 2, discard 2, and it feels really good. So none of the other effects came up. Theoretically, I could have shrunk attack points, but that never came up. SP, it's SP. It's worth way too much money but it does a lot of things, and it saved my butt today. Dynamondo, and just really good card. I didn't do the on summon effect today, but I did do. Honestly, I mostly summon it to help me co-link with Phoenix. That's kind of like the main thing, but it's good in theory. Apollo, if I got hand trapped, I usually was able to end on Apollo with Vanity's Ruler, or Apollo with Amor Factor. So it was just there as a backup plan. And it was usually pretty good. Access code. I never summoned this today. It's there again to help me break boards that the rest of my cards can't do. I lost my match to Voiceless Voice, but the thought was I was gonna try to summon this and just gain life points because he had more life points than me, and that was like the only possible way to get there. But he drolled me and bought my stuff, so I didn't have a chance. But that was the thought. Okay, so that's the extra. My side deck was basically a 3-card side deck. I sided in evenly. Okay, so for the side, we got 3 evenly. This is basically the only card in my side deck that I used. It's not really like what I would side against Fire King, but it was just any other matchup. I liked it. I saw it against Voiceless Voice in Game 3, but there was a negate and there was an anti-spell, so I could not quite get around that. But in theory, this is, you go to the battle phase, you bait something out, and then you evenly them. Or like against the cash matchup, I was trying to find this and I couldn't find it, but it was in there in theory. So this card in testing has been really great. Today cited it. I saw it like one time when it didn't matter, so I don't know. And then the rest of this I didn't even put in. But Volcanic Queen is the only kind of kaiju thing I can play, and this is for purely. Didn't face any of that, so, or something that summons 8 towers. This was not, that didn't really come up today. Then I got 3 Shark Cannon, 2 Engage, and a Widow Anchor. This is for Fire King, because I'm of the opinion that I can play through basically every interaction except for Promethean Princess. That one is just, I can't quite deal with that on top of what it triggers. So I have essentially 5 ways and the call by to interact and get her out of the graveyard. And these are also just randomly good cards, especially like against Fire King 2. This is not once per turn, so I can do as many of them as I want. And like in testing, I've taken Heatleo and drawn cards. So I mean, it's just good. Like, it's just a good card. And then this is the if I draw Engage, then if I've taken care of the Promethean Princess, this is here because I need to deal with Apollo, and it's just hard to deal with because I don't have a battle phase, so I often can't attack over it. So I need a way to deal with it, or SP or IP, maybe not SP, but IP. This is like there to deal with that. This came in against my Fire King matchups, and I didn't see it, so I don't know if it was good or not. And then I've done a lot of testing, and I've lost a lot of games to Volcanic, and I didn't want to lose to Volcanic, so I cited in Hanawadas. It's cool because they're light fairies, so you can search them off of Ben 10, but yeah, I don't fully know if I would play this again, because I just never saw it. I never saw any of these cards except for like one time, so I don't know if I would play any of these cards again. I gotta really think about this in the future, but yeah, that's the side deck there and the extra.
And what were your matchups today?
Let me tell you. I played against so round 1 I played against Lab. 2-0'd that. I played against Fire King 2-1. Bestial Orchist, which is typically a matchup I generally just scoop to, but pretty much just game 3 he bricked, and then I was able to pull it out. Round 4 I lost to Voiceless Voice. That was the second place person got that. Basically, anti-spell in game 3 was very difficult to deal with a negate. Round 5 I played against Horus, Adventure, Resonator, a pile of cards deck. Shout out to Brian, I always love his decks. And then round 6 I played against Kastura. I got shifted game 1, still won. He activated D Fisher game 2, still won. So yeah, those are my matchups today.
Yeah, and before we go, what do you think about this new format?
I mean, it's pretty, I thought it would be a lot more fire. I think it's very fire heavy, and that's fine, because I think this deck deals very well with fire. I think there was a good chunk of the room today that was some sort of fire, Snake Eye, Fire King kind of deck. So I think